Uncle Bill here from DEADPIT Radio, and I thought I was ready for this film, but I was not. Introducing 1979's The Crippled Masters. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on tight. To talk about The Crippled Masters, I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I don't know how else to talk about this film other than to talk about it based on what it's called. I know that's not a PC term. There's nothing I can do about it. It's on the title. So here we go. Um, it's interesting to me because I thought I'd seen every type of like martial arts film. And just when I think I've seen every kind of exploitation or martial arts film or whatever you would classify this as, probably a combination of both, something comes out like this that completely takes me off guard. This is a real life um display of like two martial artists, Frankie Shum and Jackie Khan, who are both disabled. One has a condition where, one of his arms is completely missing and his other arm has like part of an arm that has grown in. And the other guy has both of his legs have kind of, he has legs, but they're atrophied in some way or another. So the whole movie is pretty interesting because like they are using each other's like, strengths against the enemy. So they'll like team up and one will use their arms and use the other one's legs, and they're kind of like, one's on the other one's back and they're connected and they're doing all this martial arts stuff together, which is crazy. The amount of like a bit, and then there's other scenes where like the guy whose arms are missing is doing like, bow staff work. And there's all this really technical martial arts stuff, which is kind of amazing. So it's equal parts like they're clearly exploiting like what's going on with these people. In 1979, they're clearly that's what they're doing. But also there's some real live like skill displayed here that this takes to accomplish. Now, I'm going to talk about the film itself, the plot, which is paper thin, and I'm also going to talk about like this release as well. The film itself is the story of one of the martial artists in the beginning of the film, um, who would be Frankie Shum, is punished by this really cruel kind of like master for what he sees as a betrayal by having both of his arms cut off. Except, and I still don't know how they didn't really explain any of this or anything. So he's supposed to have both of his arms cut off, but like you can clearly see that there's one like appendage in one, part of his. He's got an arm, there, but that's what it's supposed to be. While this other guy watches on, whose name is I believe Tang in the film, and so while Tang is kind of like watching, not the drink, by the way, that the astronauts took to the moon. This guy's name is Tang. While he's watching this, he doesn't realize that the evil boss has plans to get rid of him because he quote unquote knows too much about what happened. That makes absolutely zero sense because there's like 20 people in this scene that watch this happen, but for some reason they needed an excuse to like do something to this poor guy. So Tang is punished. Instead of having his arms chopped off, he has acid poured on his legs, and that's how it is displayed that he comes by his disability. So the two find each other, and of course, you know, Tang is he's kind of trying to find somebody to help him out to get revenge, but at the same time, uh, you know, Ling Lee Ho is the other martial artist, and Ling Chang is the boss. So Lee Ho is furious because he's the one that like supervised him getting his arms chopped off. So they fight in the beginning of the film, and which is something to see. Let me tell you, they fight in the beginning of the film, and then they decide that they got to band together to kill the evil boss who put them through all this. And in order to do that, by the way, in what I think is like a pretty cool part of the film, they have to beat up the old man character in the film, the final boss character in the film, the Rock character in the film. But in order to beat him up, they have to find the 8 jade horses that have gone missing, study them, and they all include special kung fu techniques that they have to learn in order to take down the final boss, that's classic martial arts stuff. Martial arts films right there. So this edition of the film is look, the fact that this exists is one thing, but the fact that it's been restored from a 35 millimeter print is insane to me. So this is a Film Masters special edition here. And I gotta tell you, the transfer on it, it's not, it's not like a pristine transfer, but the film print that I'm sure they were dealing with was probably almost completely destroyed. And for that reason, like, it looks amazing. And they've actually got on here, and I watched it. You can see it's called The Crippled Masters Before and After Restoration. You can see like how shitty the print was before they actually restored it for this release. And it's crazy that you can even watch this now. Also, you get the bonus features of the original raw scan of the Crippled Masters feature film presented in HD. Bonus Mandarin language track, archival collection of martial arts film trailers, liner notes in a full color booklet by Lawrence Carter Long, original 1982 trailer and a 2024 recut trailer using restored film elements, Kings of Kung Fu, Releasing the Legends, a documentary from Ballyhoo Motion Pictures, and a full commentary track by Will Sloan and Justin DeClaw of the Important Cinema Club. So this was a 1979 film, 2:35 1 aspect ratio, Dolby Digital, DTS, ABC regions. If you think, here's what I'll say. If you think you've seen everything in martial arts films, if you've seen a ton of martial arts movies, you've seen the Shaw Brothers films, you've seen the Wuxia films, you've seen everything that you think you can see, you have not. And I highly encourage you to pick up The Crippled Masters. This is an awesome edition of a movie that should not exist in 2024, but does. It also is incredibly, oddly inspiring for what goes on in the film. And it's got some great action set pieces. It's got some great action. I know it's partially an exploitation film, but if you turn that around and look at what these guys were able to do, and like the fact that this movie is pulled off almost like completely, bravo. I say bravo to them. The Crippled Masters, 1979. The Film Masters Special Edition. It's available. You can get it out now. I recommend it. You can go to filmmasters.com as well. Probably can pick this up in any store that you can think of, or online store that you can think of. Probably not like Walmart or anything like that. But check it out. I'm Uncle Bill from DEADPIT.com. Check us out Into the Pit, Into the Dead Pit, YouTube, social media, Instagram. We're all over the place. And check this movie out. You will not be disappointed if you're into martial arts films. And I'll catch you guys later.
Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Poor dog. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. Okay. Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.